in the end of the gospel today. They were satisfied. It says they were satisfied. Think about that word. They were satisfied. When you think about the readings today, the first one, Isaiah prophesies about a time when all people will come to God. When they will come to that mountain. When they'll come to that feast. He prophesies about that time of people coming to the Lord. And 7 centuries later, that's fulfilled in what we hear in the gospel today. 7 centuries later was the time between Isaiah's prophecy and Jesus. What happened in the gospel today. Think about the people who came. Think about the people who were brought there. They were brought out in the middle of nowhere. They were blind. They were lame. They were crippled. They were sick. They were possessed. And their families brought them out there, not with SUVs, not with high-powered wheelchairs, not with ATVs. They dragged these people out there in the middle of nowhere. No bathrooms, no facilities, no restaurants, no hotels. And they stayed for 3 days out in that place. It says they were there for 3 days. That's a long picnic. That's a pretty long time in one place. And now they knew that they were going out in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So they would have taken enough to eat and take care of their needs, but probably didn't expect to be gone 3 days. And it says that they laid these people who were ill and hurting and sick at the feet of Jesus. But remember the word satisfied. They were satisfied because what they came for, they got. They were hungry and thirsting for healing, and they knew he could do it. And they found him, they brought their sick, and they were satisfied because what they came for happened. But they were so intent on listening to Jesus, once they got what they wanted, they didn't go home. They stayed. They stayed right there. They didn't want to go home. They wanted to stay on that mountain like Isaiah prophesied about 7 centuries before. They wanted to stay there. Have you ever been anywhere you wanted to stay and not go home? Mm-hmm. Or you didn't want a party to end. Or you didn't want an event to end. You didn't want a day with family and friends, a joyful day to end. You wanted to stay in the moment. And that's what they did. They stayed for 3 days. They were so fed with the presence of God through Jesus. Jesus taught them. Jesus taught them and brought them to a whole new relationship, a whole new level of a relationship with God that they never had before, that they never experienced. The religious leaders never brought them to what this guy out in the middle of nowhere, in no synagogue, in no church, in no holy place, brought them to. What was holy about that place was God was there with them. He was right there with them, feeding them, like Isaiah prophesied through Jesus. And Jesus is worried about them. Common sense, Jesus is worried, just like any Italian, any Polish, any Irish mother. You're going to starve on the way home. You're not going to eat. You're going to fall down. You're going to be sick. You know, Jesus had to get that from somewhere. That had to come from Mary, the Jewish mother. You got to eat more, or you're going to pass out on the way home. And he's worried. You can't send these people off now after 3 days. They're still hungry, but now they're hungry for food. They're hungry for food. And the disciples say, but, you know, there are no bread trucks coming through here. Panera's not driving through this route today. Or Bomberitos aren't bringing those 1,000-foot subs that they can't sell. So what are we going to do? And Jesus feeds them. He feeds them with fresh bread, with more fish. It doesn't say it rained loaves and fishes. All kinds of theories about it. No matter what it happened, if it rained loaves and fish, if poof, they appeared, if everybody brought more out of their pockets, it happened. He fed them. He continued to feed them. He fed them through healing. He fed them through the Word of God, through growing deeper in love with their relationship with God. And he fed them for their stomachs. And then he sent them home. And he sent them out to be the presence of God in the world. There were over 4,000 people. Over 4,000 people in no public address system, in no restrooms, in no porta potties, in no place to sleep but on the ground. But they stayed right there on that mountain because they were living what the first reading prophesied. They were living that. He fed them, but he sent them out to feed others. How many ways, if you had to take a piece of paper and list it right now, think of all the ways the Lord has fed you. With healing, with blessing, with people, with life, with love, with forgiveness, with compassion, and the list goes on. And today, this morning, we come every morning to start our day to be fed here. And then the Lord sends us out. After a half hour, he sends us out and says, now go feed others. Who are we being sent to feed today? Who are we going out to feed this day? Let us continue.